Safe and sound. I'll make toast with that later. Just don't touch the worm or the crystal again, and we could end up forgetting each other. Ouch! What happened?
What am I doing here?
Liv? Where did you come from?
No idea. Last thing I remember was I was facing the Daleks. I was actually about to call you.
Oh. Maybe I just forgot. Would you like to join me?
Of course. Just us two, searching the stars.
Let's go.
Doctor! As if the death of her boyfriend wasn't enough to put Ellie off travelling with the Doctor, she's dumped on an alien planet alone.
Doctor?
Join us as Confidential goes on a journey to the planet of the memory worms.
Doctor?
So where did the idea for this episode come from?
So episode 5 brought back an underused monster, the Sigrax. Episode 6 introduced a completely new monster. So for episode 7 I wanted to bring in a monster from the TV show that no one had done before because there wasn't a figure of it. The memory worms were the perfect choice. By the time I thought up the idea around February 2015, I knew that it was the last episode of the 8th Doctor set of episodes, so I had to wrap up a few problems of the Series 5 arc. As I mentioned in episode 5's Confidential, I would come back to the 11th Doctor problem I set up in Series 4. How could the 11th Doctor not fully recognise Ellie if she travelled with his 8th self? I knew at some point he'd have to forget her, but I didn't want it to become an obvious memory wipe. When all of these ideas came about, I thought it would be a great chance to stretch Ellie's character, give her a lot of development, which in the end it did. She started out as a fanatic of the Doctor, searching to find him and eventually helping him investigate an alien plot. She was put out of her comfort zone when she nearly ended up being killed by the Sigrax, which damaged her confidence that she had earlier on in the episode. By the time of episode 6, she had gained some of her confidence back and decided to bring her boyfriend along. I wanted Jacob to pull against Ellie and be the normal part of her life on board the TARDIS. When he was killed, unaware that he sacrificed himself to get what the Doctor wanted, Ellie realised that life with the Doctor is certainly not always fun. With her only connection to Earth gone, she didn't know who she was. She genuinely hated the Doctor. She saw him responsible for death and destruction. With her confidence destroyed, her want to be with the Doctor made into hell, she needed to get home as soon as she could. After all of that, it would take a few weeks before Ellie could step back and look at her life. What was important? In episode 7, when the Doctor and Liv turn up, she had decided that there wasn't really much left on Earth for her anymore. She was reminded more of Jacob when she was alone at home, and decided that travelling with the Doctor again was the only way to move on. How could I resist but make her life even worse in episode 7? So I think personally that Ellie as a companion has had to deal with so much more compared to recent TV companions. Hopefully the audience just wants her to be happy for once in her life. However, it wasn't until they followed a distress signal, fell through a portal to a mysterious planet, and crash landed in a cave systems full of memory worms that Ellie's problems would begin to get worse. I like to think of this episode as the origin story to the memory worms, that the Doctor has encountered them many times before but never remembers, not until the new series anyway, hence why the 11th Doctor from the Snowmen appeared as a cameo to show that this is where he would usually pick them up from. I also wanted to tackle the story in a different way, to keep the audience confused as to how they ended up here, and together with the characters learn the truth by watching. I thought it would be rather boring if the story was in chronological order, because you would know everything and get frustrated that the characters didn't. It also meant that the end of the episode had a lasting climax. So by the end, the Doctor was aware that Ellie had wiped her memories of Jacob's death, which is heartbreaking for me. Then Liv touching the crystal early on in the episode caused her to faint on the TARDIS, then being bitten by a memory worm and losing all memories of episodes 6 and 7. Then when you think the Doctor is safe and is about to go back and get Ellie, he accidentally gets bitten and forgets all of episodes 5, 6 and 7. He's now totally unaware of who Ellie was, everything they did together, gone. But of course, by the time the Doctor reaches his 11th incarnation, he slightly vaguely remembers her face, asking if they'd met before, creating their first meeting and sparking Ellie's want to find him. So now that question's answered, but Ellie's trapped.
Writing began on the 10th of February 2015, and the final draft was completed May 2015. Filming began, as with episode 5 and 6, with the TARDIS interior scenes in May and April. The TARDIS set was then dismantled and put into storage, whilst filming continued on episodes 5 and 6. In June 2015, James had constructed 8 custom-made memory worms of different sizes, shapes and positions. Upon filming, he included some maggots from the classic series to fill in for larger, more powerful memory worms. Caves were then constructed and filming began on these various cave sets between the 11th and 16th of August 2015. The main cave was constructed on the 16th and filming was completed in one night. Here is some footage of filming, including outtakes of the zipwire filming. Scenes with Ellie's flat were filmed with the blocks of scenes from episode 5 and 6 at the same time. Fast forward to May 2016, the opening battleground scenes were filmed to complete filming on the 8th Doctor's era. Some of this footage was recorded with a new camera, making episode 7 the first episode to be filmed with 2 cameras. After episode 6 was completed, work began editing episode 7 in August 2016. However, there was a slight change at the very last minute.
Doctor?
Originally filmed in August 2015, before the release of an official 12th Doctor figure, the final cave scene in which the 12th Doctor arrives to find Ellie had to be re-recorded the night before release of the episode. Here is the original footage with the custom figure James had filmed in 2015. This time, an official 12th Doctor figure was used. So now Ellie is alone, and the 12th Doctor has surprisingly arrived. But what does this mean for the future?
Well, it was always planned for 12 to arrive right at the very end, considering he was where Ellie's future progresses. You may be asking how 12 knows about and where Ellie was. Well, you'll find out later in the series. But for now, it's time we hand it over to the 11th Doctor for episodes 8 and 9. The 11th Doctor will return in the new year.
It is here we celebrate the short but adventurous time of the 8th Doctor, Ellie Kai and Liv Chenka.
I know you know what happens. You know more about my future than I do. I am the coward who ran away.
You're the Doctor. The man who saves us, even when faced with life and death. And it doesn't mean you're a coward. It makes you the hero.
And what does the hero do now?
Where to first?
Are you sure you want to come? It's going to be dangerous.
I didn't spend 4 years of my life searching for you to not go with you.
Here we go then.
3 years, 2 months, and 9 days since my quest to find the Doctor began. Reached the furthest corners, looking for the blue police box. It's you!
Wait!
Wow!
Why were you tracking me down?
To meet you again. I want to go travelling.
If you can prove to me that you're the right person, then I'll think about it.
Yes! Thanks so much.
You know, Ellie, you're starting to grow on me.
Good. They're not aliens, are they?
Don't jump to conclusions.
What was that meant to mean?
Ellie!
And this world will be ours.
The Cigarettes promised me leader status, to have control of the Earth. The ultimate leader. Ugh.
Let me go. You can't do this.
No.
Goodbye, Daleks.
I did just save you from certain death.
Yeah, just spit it out. What do you want from me?
Help.
Who's this?
I might ask you the same question.
Yeah. Hi.
Well, Ellie, this is Liv. Liv, this is Ellie.
Ah, you must be one of the lucky ones.
I've had a trace of something. It was little and brief, but it corresponds to Texas, Norway, and Thailand.
It's weird to think we're in the 1915s.
You can see why I love travelling with him.
It never even crossed my mind that one day I could be staring up at the stars from times past with the woman I love. I love you, Rebecca.
I love you more. What's that?
Well, I would presume the entrance to a spaceship.
No.
I'm the Doctor. Who are you?
I am the Grateful.
You are in possession of a piece of the essence, am I correct?
What have you done?
I've told you, we've taken it.
You will suffer for this.
Jacob!
Diverted to the TARDIS.
It is too late.
It's going to kill you, alright? There, I said it.
Ellie. Ellie?
Yeah.
I love you more.
This is your fault. Do you hear me? Your fault.
Ellie, I'm sorry, but we've got to go.
It's for the best, Doctor. She just needs some time alone.
I suppose you're right. As long as you're sure this is what you want.
It is.
Welcome back, Miss Kai.
What's that?
Hold on. Distress call. Humans on board.
One of our engines has failed. We need urgent assistance.
Your memory is a monster. You forget, it doesn't. It simply files things away. It keeps things from you, hides things from you, and summons them to your waiting servant.
Oh my god.
Stay here. I'll go make sure she's okay and come back for you.
Okay, hurry up.
Would you like to join me?
Just us two, searching the stars?
Ouch! Let's go.
Doctor!
You think you have your memory, but it has you.
Doctor?
I will also be celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Sarah Jane Adventures on the 1st of January with a one-off special. Here's a little sneak teaser of that.